All right, let's talk about something that can feel like a total make or break decision for your restaurant, the point of sale system. I mean, if you're a small business owner, this is the kind of choice that can literally keep you up at night. So today, we're going to try and bring some clarity to this whole mess by walking through a new 2026 guide. Let's dive right in.
So, you're looking for a new POS, right? Maybe you're just opening up a brand new spot, or you're finally upgrading from that clunky old system. Or maybe you're just sick and tired of juggling a bunch of different tools that don't talk to each other. Whatever the reason, you know just how critical this decision is for, your day-to-day operations. And look, if you're feeling totally overwhelmed by all the options out there, you are definitely not alone. The guide we're looking at today just nails it. It says that choosing a POS can feel, get this, harder than opening the restaurant itself. And that's so true, right? It's that paralysis you feel when every single provider is promising you the moon. Okay, so our mission today is pretty simple. We're going to cut a clear path right through that maze. We're going to use this 2026 guide as our map, breaking down all of its analysis to help you find the perfect fit for your business. Now, full disclosure, the guide we're digging into comes from a company called Butter POS. And yeah, they've got their own system, which we will get to later. But what's actually super useful here is how they start by breaking down all the other major players in the market. It gives us a really solid lay of the land. All right, let's meet the main contenders. These are the 5 big systems that the guide really puts under the microscope. For each one, we're going to look at who it's really built for, what its biggest strengths are, and, just as important, where the guide says its limitations are. First up, we've got Toast. The guide basically calls this one the powerhouse of the group. It's really built for those full-service restaurants that want deep, granular control over everything. We're talking kitchen order routing, complex staff scheduling, the whole shebang. But, and this is a big but, all that power comes at a price, and honestly, it can be total overkill for a smaller, simpler spot.
Okay, next on the list is Square for restaurants. Now, the guide frames this as the absolute champion of speed and simplicity. Think coffee shops, food trucks, quick service spots, anywhere that counter speed is king. The trade-off? Well, you're just not going to get the super complex table management or the advanced kitchen features that a bigger, full-service restaurant might be looking for.
Then there's Lightspeed, and according to this guide, Lightspeed is all about one thing: inventory. Its real superpower is in its super detailed recipe tracking. So if your top priority is controlling food costs down to the very last olive, this might be your guy. The catch? The guide points out there's a pretty steep learning curve, which might be tough on your staff.
Now, Touch Bistro. This one is positioned as the go-to for table service. The whole system is basically built around your servers using iPads right there in the dining room, creating this really smooth, seamless flow from the customer's table straight to the kitchen. The guide does mention, though, that you might find yourself needing to buy extra add-ons to get the full suite of features. And last but not least, we have Clover. The guide really presents this as the easy, accessible, all-in-one solution. You get the hardware, you get the software, and it's super easy to get started. The thing is, it's not quite as restaurant-focused right out of the box. You'll probably find yourself digging through its app store to get those more advanced, specialized features. Okay, so we've met the players. Now let's put them head-to-head, just like the guide does. This is where you really start to see the trade-offs come to life. Yeah, this chart really spells it out, doesn't it? You can see the different paths you could take. Over here, you've got Toast and Lightspeed, super scalable, but they're going to take some time to learn. And then on the other side, you have Square and Clover, incredibly easy to use, but maybe they won't grow with you if your operation gets really complex. Like I said, it's all about those trade-offs. And Welly, the guide boils this whole thing down to one central conflict, one core trade-off. Do you need simplicity and speed, or do you need advanced, deep control? If you're that food truck, you're probably leaning towards Square. If you're that bustling, full-service place, you're looking at Toast. And it forces you to ask a really tough question. Are you buying a system for the restaurant you have today, or the one you're hoping to become in 5 years? So naturally, after laying out this whole complex market, the guide introduces its own answer to all these challenges: Butter POS. This is their pitch for how to solve the very problems we've just been talking about. So what exactly is Butter POS? Well, the way the guide describes it, it's a unified, flexible system. The idea is to combine all the essentials, order management, kitchen tools, payments, into a single platform that can actually adapt to different kinds of restaurants. And then the guide kind of walks us through how it works in the real world. So it brings all your order types together: dine-in, takeout, delivery. It integrates all the kitchen and staff tools, and it gives you simple reporting.
The goal they're shooting for, it seems, is to find that perfect balance, giving you the features you need without all the overwhelming complexity.
Okay, so with all that information on the table, let's circle it all back to you. The last part of the guide is all about helping you make the call. It's about finding that perfect fit for your one-of-a-kind operation. So here it is, the guide's final rapid-fire summary. Ready? Toast is for control, Square is for speed, Lightspeed is for inventory, Touch Bistro is for table service, Clover is for a simple, hardware-included setup, and of course they position their own system, Butter POS, as the flexible, unified option. This really just boils down the core identity of each one, doesn't it?
And this all circles back to a really crucial question the guide wants you to ask yourself. What actually matters more in your restaurant, day in and day out? Is it a giant list of features that you might never even use? Or is it a simple, reliable system that just works?
And, at the end of the day, the guide's main takeaway is this, and it's so important. There is no single best POS system. There just isn't. The best system is the one that perfectly aligns with how your restaurant actually operates every single day. Your workflow, your staff, your customers.
And so that leaves us with one final question for you to chew on. Just forget all the marketing fluff and the endless feature lists for a minute. Instead, picture your team during a crazy busy Friday night service. What is the one thing that if technology could just make it a little bit better, would make the biggest difference? The answer to that question, that's where you're going to find your perfect POS.